Terrifics #7, Jeff Lemire writing and Dale Eaglesham on the art. He will not be sticking around for too long because he's on Shazam, right?
Well, no one sticks around for too long on these books.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. This issue finally.
I'm going to get my one critique of the art out of the way early. That it's not all in the same style as that first page. Because I love that first page.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first issue of Terrifics that I feel like is going to be around for a longer run. Just for the stuff that they put forward here.
They set up a lot. They obviously have been teasing the Tom Strong stuff. But this is like, no, Tom Strong's in an alternate world. Dr. Dredd goes there early on, and we get to see Strong, fighting a villain, and there's like, you're going to infect all these people. Well, my blimp was full of the antitoxin, and I counted on you blowing it up. It's very cheesy and pulpy. It's great. It's good stuff.
It's very
the art fits so well, though, in general.
Yes, it does. But so Tom Strong is basically, he's Doc Savage, right? And that's what he's indicative of that era. Like, he's at the Robot Butler, the fortress, above the city, and all of this. And I think the Lemire just nailed that tone, like Pete was just saying, like the cheese. And
I do love the hat on the Robot Butler.
Yes, I do.
That is the icing on the cake, isn't it?
Yep. And just how his villain shows up all the time just to catch a beating. Like, it's almost like they're playing out a game. Where it's like, okay, I'm going to show up. You're going to beat me. You're going to go back. We'll do it again next week. Sound good? Like, also kind of reminds me of The Incredibles, too. Just that style.
Yeah.
And the tone of it. So, I think it just does a really good job.
Yeah, also, and then, I can't deny the copter jetpack thingamajig, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what the official term is.
Very, very like Inspector Gadget.
Yes.
Gadget, it is.
Yes.
Go get Gadget Copter. Yeah. It's called a Strong Copter.
Strong Copter. Okay, sure.
There you go.
I feel like that's just like you're doing the bat thing. You're bat copter, bat plane, bat boat.
Well, just because it was a Gadget Copter and it came out of his hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we actually get the first half of the issue is all this Tom Strong stuff, and then Dredd shows up, and we get to see how it ends, and then that's when we cut back to our team on our Earth, and they are kind of
we cut to plastic, sprawled out.
Yeah.
Literally.
Because that's how you.
I like to think that when he sleeps, he loses control of it.
I don't know.
Right?
I feel like that's just a representation of how we all feel when we first wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, not me. When I wake up in the morning, I feel like a statue that's just been brought to life. Like, I'm stiff, and, like, stuff's popping and crackling. Like...
Go to the doctor, man.
I'm not all
Go to the doctor.
Yeah. I think it's just age.
It could be.
Yeah.
Probably didn't need to squat as much as I did this week, but I did, so...
Do you know what I love? So Phantom Girl's giving... she's not giving him shit. She's concerned, and she's like, oh, what's up with you, plastic man? Yeah. And I liked it. There's a panel here, the dog's in front, and... I like that normally I'd assume this was an art mistake, but because it's Plastic Man, he actually does just have his head kind of sunk into his neck. And I'm like, oh, it's because he's been mopey. I like that touch.
Yeah, he's tucking his head in doing that thing. But
that's called teenage-itis.
Do it. Yeah,
I see it all the time. Just like,
Yeah, exactly.
So Rex is just a human again, and Stag's like, well, you're not worth anything anymore. You were just around for your abilities. And they're like, okay, so what's going on here? There's something fishy's happening because everything that the big war wheel that attacked us, everything's coming from you, Stag. You're behind this somehow. But the only connection we have to put all this together is Tom Strong. So he's like, okay, I've done some tech, gizmo-y, terrific stuff. I know how to get to his Earth. We're going to go and check him out. And I like that we get a beam pistol for Rex because he's not got his powers anymore.
Ray gun.
Yeah.
So.
It's a ray gun.
A ray gun. Rays, beams, what's the difference?
Yeah, but he specifically calls it a ray gun.
Sure.
And I feel like
rays and beams are the same thing in this context.
Yeah, but ray gun's very 1950s sci-fi, so that fits in.
Yeah.
Oh, my mind jumps to beam for some reason.
Can I just say that I love that they kept the dog around?
Oh, sure.
That was somebody's dog. But they're just like, nah, you're part of the team now, dog.
Joe's a really subtle thing in the art. It's really simple, but when they go over to the other planet or the other Earth and they're in the T-sphere, I love that the layouts that them in a circle, because it's basically just emulating the sphere, even though it's just a perfect circle, but it's just a simple little touch. It's like, yeah, of course they're in a circle.
Yeah.
Speaking of layouts, I'm glad the 4-panel thing has been dropped. It was fine as a thing for one issue, but I think they tried to stick to it again the following issue, and it was okay. It's becoming a bit rigid for the storytelling.
Well, we ended the arc. I think to me what that says is that they're functioning more as a team now, and therefore they're not separate.
Yeah.
So it works thematically for me that it's something that's went away.
Well, and I like here this feels like a pulp comic that I've seen. Like the layouts and stuff, like they're all kind of just what needs to fit for the story to go by.
Maybe this is just me, but I feel like even at the start, the way Phantom Girl comes into the room and tries to get Plastic Man, it feels like they kind of know each other now. They may not be the best of friends ever, but there's a camaraderie almost, a familiarity between them. But they put up with each other now. They're siblings.
I do like how she just kind of leans through the wall. There's clearly a door right next to it because the dog comes through the door, but she's just leaning through the wall.
Yeah, it feels cheeky. She got a little cheeky smirk in her face. She's like, I can come through the wall. It's fine.
Yeah.
So obviously the shop, there's been chaos. Poor robot butler's down, and there's these crazy vines, and they're like, Dr. Dredd, he was here already. What's happening? We're here to help. And then the vines grab them and take them to wherever they took Tom Strong, and he's there, and they're all captured. He even grabs Phantom Girl, because she even makes a point of saying, "These are grabbing me. This is impossible." Clearly not.
Yeah.
But
I love how stretched out Plastic Man is at the end. Like he's just wrapped all around this tree in so many different places.
Yeah, it's almost like he's trying to out-wrap it. Like he's like, "No, I can do this as well," and he's trying to like.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if you just look how far apart his feet are and like where they wrap around the tree, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been on board with this since the start, but it's just getting better. Like it's so pulpy and bright and cheery and.
Well, see, now I feel like I can enjoy it a little bit more because I don't think it's going anywhere. So I had my guards up where I was like, all right, well, this is only going to be around for a short time.
Context is important.
But it feels like
context is very important for that sentence because you saying, I'm not worried because I don't think it's going anywhere is a really weird sentence. Because normally when you say that about a story, it's because, it's not going anywhere.
No, I mean the book. Like, I feel like a lot of these New Age of heroes aren't going to be around.
If they manage
to make
Oh, sure, no, I agree for the most part. But I think this was always going to be the one that lasted.
Yeah, but I felt like even though like it lasted, maybe the last one standing, but it's still at.
You felt like it was okay.
Issues.
It's how long can the Fantastic Four gimmick last?
Yeah, now it feels like it's gone past the Fantastic Four. Like, yeah, there's still stuff there, but
the villain's
Lemire's...
still Dr. Dredd.
Yeah, but with the Tom Strong stuff, and it finally feels like it's moving in a direction that it's not just these short arcs where we're getting to know all of the, because I felt like the short arcs were just building like these characters for reintroduction to the greater DCU. Whereas I feel now like, no, the Terrifics is going to be a team going forward that we talk about, kind of like the Outsiders. You know what I mean? Like we might have different versions of the Terrifics in 5 years, but I do think that they're now DC for a while. So I like that. And they're playing with Tom Strong, and they found their little niche, and I like it.
I just want to really emphasize again how good that first page is, where it's the Tom Strong comic in universe on this world, and it's it's the even more pulpy art, and it's so good.
English, kills it.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So, as much as it's had art changes, there's been no weak art. If anything, Ivan Reese at the start was the one that felt the most out of place because it was the more straightforward art.
Yeah, I don't think his style fits with the tone of this book.
But everyone since him has been pretty on point. I mean, there's obviously been some better than others. Doc Shaner, of course, has been kind of perfect.
Yeah, I'd say Eagles from Here's the second choice.
But even Joe Bennett last issue wasn't like, oh god, get
away.
Well,
it was not bad at all. It's just a little jarring to jump between them all. But I mean, they're all been individually good.
Yeah, so it was good.
So I have a crazy theory on who not Doctor Doom is.
Oh, go on.
And it's got to be Stag's caveman guy, Java. Just the figure that Dredd cuts with the wide shoulders. And then you find out there's that page where Stag's talking about, well, why would I do any of this to you guys? I own...
Java did kind of throw him under the bus.
He did. And I just feel like Java's been the one that's been doing things, and he's been there from the Tom Strong world or whatever Dredd's thing is. But yeah, I just feel like they're really pointing at that, which that'll be cool because you get like a caveman is the opposite of Tom Strong, who is like the most advanced man, and like it's pulp storytelling in a nutshell.
I mean, he's the only small character it could end up being if it's someone we already know, right?
Yeah.
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 So
that makes sense.
But just the revelation that it's someone within Stag's company, that's the only thing that points it to him. So
yeah. No, really good. So we'll rate Terrifics number 7. Matt?
This is an 8.5 as well. I really enjoyed this issue.
Connor?
Yeah, I'm going with the 8.5.
I will concur with the 8.5.